This is the story of how we burned our house down. That's what this smells like. Orange creamsicle. I love orange creamsicle. Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, I have a lot of homework to do, but I'm just gonna go story time. It's fall. Do you like my moderate decorating? We tried for like 5 seconds. Anyway, ghost stories. It's supposed to be spooky. Actually, we're not gonna make it like super scary. It's kind of like a chill in the fall type thing. But we just wanted to tell you about the ghost stories we've experienced throughout our life. We only have four experiences with ghosts in our whole life, so we'll tell you about them right now. Isn't the last one not ours? 3 experiences. Okay, just disclaimer, I'm not sure if I believe in ghosts. I'd like to think they exist, but I'm really not sure. These are just some stories I can't really explain. Anyway, let's start with story number 1. Story number 1 is called Invisible Cats. If you ever want to be calm during the story, if it gets too spooky for you, just look at me. I'll be calmly staring at the candle. Just absorb my calm energy. I'm like one of those things in that anime playlist that says a person studying for 3 hours, however long the song playlist is on YouTube. That's me. That's gonna be you. Leave the window. I know the window's very fall. Like we're fall over here, but like the window's fall. Help me tell these stories. This is called Watch Two People Catch Each Other on Fire because they're about to get mad and dump fire on each other. The story starts on a cloudy afternoon. It didn't, but you don't know that. I can lie and just tell you it did. It was probably fall, actually. Anyway, we were staying over at our dad's house. We were like 10. We're 16 now, if you don't know, so that's like 6 years ago. But we were staying there on a futon that he has. He lays out a futon for us to sleep on because we were scared to sleep in the room that was given to us. Because like we thought the whole house was haunted, which apparently it probably is based on this story, but like we'll get to that. This was our grandparents' house, and they had a bunch of cats, but they all died before we were born, or like when we were 1, so we don't remember. And we had cats at that house. They'd run around on the futon. They were always hyper at night, you know? They'd go they'd race across the bed. It's like scare the crap out of you. Like, oh my god, what's running across my feet? I woke up at night. It was pitch black. No, I didn't wake up. This is 6 years ago, okay? Alright? No, I was woken up by the feeling of a cat jumping on my feet. You used to know the feeling of a cat jumping onto your bed and like the sheets just going in because of like the pressure. Or like, someone sits on the end of your bed and you just feel them before you see them. So I felt the cat like step between my legs and like the sheets just like pull because they're there, you know? And I went to look to see what cat it was. It could either be the black cat Lily or the black and white cat Max. They're brothers and sisters. I was like, okay, which one was it? But I didn't see any cat there and they weren't around. They're probably upstairs or in the kitchen or something, and I just looked down at my feet and I just stared for a second like, okay, I'm going back to sleep now. I think a cat's laying on you. You look down, there's no cat. Bluemoon could have been hallucinating. It was 6 years ago. She was 10. But we were in the house where a lot of cats died in. Yes, so it could have been one of the ghost cats. Yeah. There's a lot of cat graveyards in the backyard. They have their little stones. Yeah. It's so cute. And I told my dad about the story, and he said he had a similar experience before where he felt a cat jump onto the bed and there was no cat there. So in retrospect, the cat just wanted to cuddle with me, and that's all I could ask for. A ghost or a living. A ghost cat cuddling with me. Anyway, what's the other story? At the time, I was really scared, but this turns out sweet at the end. We were fighting, much like the time we're fighting right now while making this. We're arguing over tiny things. We were arguing, and we were making a video. Ironically, it was like 4 years ago, and we were trying to make a set for an LPS video, and I was like, hey, Redmoon, I need some white piece of paper from the printer downstairs from the computer, because the computer was downstairs at the time, like in the basement. I was like, oh, can you go get that? And she was like, fine, because I guess I was doing something else. I don't remember what I was doing. I had the time to get the white paper and she didn't. I'm like, you go get it. She's like, you're sitting there doing nothing, get the paper. And I like knew I was in the wrong and I had to get the paper, but I was still arguing because like I didn't want to get the paper. So I had to walk down all the way to the basement and it was like so dark and creepy down there. And I see our printer straight ahead. We have this little sliding glass door, and as I'm going to the printer, I happen to look out the window and I see our grandfather. We call him Pop-Up. I see him. He's standing in front of our grill, looking this way. But the thing is, he died. It was so weird. He was crystal clear. I wasn't even thinking about him or anything. What was he wearing? He was wearing, I think, a gray t-shirt like he always wears and some jeans. The only weird thing about it was, he was just standing straight to the side, staring at the neighbor's house. He didn't even know I was looking at him. It just felt like he was just chilling. And honestly, at the time, I was so scared. It's like, I wasn't like, oh my god, hi. I was like, what the? I grabbed the paper and I ran all the way upstairs. As I was running back up the stairs, I looked back at the the window and there's nothing there. So it's like that could either mean ghost or I was hallucinating. But either way, it was pretty scary. But then I told my relatives and they were like, oh, that's cool. He's just checking out the grill. If I saw a ghost of him again, I wouldn't be scared. But at that time, going down to a dark basement, you don't want to see your dead relative, you know? I wonder if you went down and not me, if you would have saw the same thing. Maybe I wouldn't have even looked out the window. Well, we'll never know, so. Anyway, next story. Speaking of dead relatives, the weirdest segue. Speaking of dead relatives, this looks like we're on a fancy date with you. I'm just sitting eating my spaghetti. Speaking of dead relatives, it's like, what's your favorite color? Speaking of dead relatives, too jarring for any conversation. No matter what you're talking about. Even if you're talking about the dead relatives. We keep getting off track. Speaking of dead relatives, a few of our family members told us that we used to see our dead relatives when we were younger, like babies, and we'd always say their name, but they weren't there, like they were dead. And like apparently we see our great-grandfather. I don't know what it is with grandfathers. He come apparently. So like our great-grandfather met us when we were like 1, but like obviously I don't remember that, and he died, and I just don't remember him at all, which is sad. We would see him, like, we'd be like, Pappy, and then they'd look and there's nothing there. The next 2 stories we have to share with you. We heard from our brother. He told us these stories a while ago, and we just want to put them in here because they're pretty spooky. If you're watching this, we're using your stories in the video. We might not get all the details right, but this is just the overview of both of the stories. One, I'll just say really quickly. Our brother used to sleep in the basement of one of our oldest houses we've ever lived in. The house wasn't old, it was just a long time ago. And he said he was just laying down about to go to sleep, kind of in that half awake, half asleep zone. You're laying on his side, just chilling. He said he felt an arm just wrapped around him. And obviously you freak out, you whip the covers off and there's nothing there. So he couldn't fall asleep like the whole night because it was just like really terrifying. Yeah. The second story he told to us before was when he went to a graveyard in the middle of the night with his past girlfriend. Spooky. One of his old girlfriends. Yeah. They were chilling outside the graveyard just in their car and they heard voices talking like they were right next to them or somewhere in the graveyard, but there was no one else there. The funny thing is, as they're laying there with the starry skies and you hear random ghosts talking, they both looked at each other like, are you talking? Because they're kind of in an argument. Are you talking? Are you whispering about me? No, no. And once they realized that it's like ghosts, that's the only thing they thought it could be, because what else are you gonna think when you're in a graveyard? They go and run to his car, and he forgot his car keys in the car. They were locked outside in the graveyard. They were locked out in the graveyard. I would start freaking out, because imagine you're trying to escape this ghost like you're petrified, and then you just can't get into your car. So then he was panicking, and he called someone, and they came and tried to help them open his car, and then he actually ended up finding the keys on his person, so that whole thing was for nothing. It doesn't really take me that much to believe in ghosts, apparently. Okay, so those are the ghost stories I actually believe in. Yeah. But then there's one that I don't believe in at all. One time we lived in an apartment building a long time ago on like the 7th floor. The apartment building only had 7 floors, we had like the top. I was asleep and we used to share a room with our mom. So moonlight was casting into our room. I was half awake, half asleep. I woke up because I couldn't sleep because like I was nervous because I woke up. As a kid, you wake up in the dark and moonlight shining in your room. Like automatic panic. Like never going back to sleep. Like even though there's like 2 people in the room with you. And I was trying to whisper to Bluemoon, I'm like, Bluemoon, she didn't wake up because like I'm obviously whispering. That was the time in my life where I snored, and both the people in that room would tell me I snored a lot because if there was any ghosts. Emphasizing it for the story. Alright, continue. So basically, there was this hanger with a coat on it, kind of like that back there behind Bluemoon's head, like that. And it would cast shadow onto a door. I thought that it was a ghost because it looked like a person, like the shadow looked like a man. It wasn't like this. It was this. It was like this. But I thought it was a scary dude. But it was just a shadow. That's it. I like debunked it. Like for a few years I believed it was a ghost, but then I thought that was a shadow. That was definitely a shadow. Because as the night went on, I'd close my eyes and open them and it'd still be there. I say he, but like it'd still be there. The further the night went on, the more he'd disappear because like the moon was going down. All of the other paranormal experiences we've ever had have been mostly a part of our imagination. We used to say we saw a ghost in this room when we walked down the hall, but we'd only see it when like all the lights were off. That was definitely our imagination. Yeah. I like to think I'm a little intuitive to ghosts, since we've seen ghosts since we were little apparently, and I've seen a crisp ghost. So yeah, that's our spooky stuff. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any spooky stories, make sure to share them in the comments below. We can all get in the fall mood together. Hopefully we didn't spook you too much. We probably didn't because we were laughing all the time. Hopefully we made you happy and we kind of just false spirits. That's his spirits. The story's about ghosts. We gave you false spirits. We got spirits. How about you? Love Monster High. Obviously, we have a dog. Do you know what else is spooky? The discontinued Monster Highs are also spooky. We also have a creepy ghost over there. It's not a ghost, it's like a zombie person. Alright, what's your opinion on this, then? What's your opinion on this creepy boy? Maybe not. Oh yeah. On fire really quick. What's your opinion on this? He's not a ghost. Boy? He's like a zombie guy. Okay. Yeah, I believe you. If you take a parenting class, instead of giving you that realistic baby, they just give you this. Hey guys, this is Billy. This is Rachel. He only eats apple crust. Give him a high five. He asked for a high five. He left it hanging. Okay. Oh my god, you spent his arm backwards. Okay, he asked for it. He wasn't prepared for that. Alright guys. Alright, we're gonna blow out these candles. Pick up 2 candles. I'm busy. This did not go as planned, but we hope you enjoy it anyway. I'm not gonna blow it. About what? Okay. Smoke. Alright, bye guys. I don't know why we're shoving candles in your face. You're welcome. I know it's what you asked for. I'm gonna use him as a fan so we don't have a fire alarm go off. Random dance party while blowing out the candles. Thanks for the fan art, thanks for watching, and happy Halloween! Woo! Okay. The next 2 stories are stories told. I'll just get back to the candles. You could do that. Just gonna slam my head. Just say one thing. Say one thing. And then I'll just drag you down with it.